Okay, we've all been there, right? You're watching a movie online, you're at the best part, and then, boom, the spinning wheel of death, buffering. But then you flip over to a live football game on satellite TV and it's just perfect, flawless. How is that possible? Well, today we're going to break down the incredible tech behind satellite television.
So yeah, this is the big mystery we're going to solve. It feels totally backwards, doesn't it? I mean, one signal has to travel tens of thousands of kilometers through the vacuum of space, and the other just comes through a cable in your wall. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll get exactly why the one from space is so rock solid for live TV.
And it really all starts way, way up there. The secret isn't just about some fancy technology inside the satellite. It's about its address, its precise location. It's not just floating around randomly. It's parked in a very specific sweet spot where physics lets it perfectly sync up with our planet.
Which brings us to our first major idea, the geostationary orbit. The easiest way to think about it is like a giant invisible parking lot in space, one that lets a satellite stay perfectly still above a single spot on Earth.
So how in the world does that work? Well, it's all about timing. See, for your satellite dish on your roof to stay aimed at one spot in the sky, the satellite itself has to do one full lap around the Earth in exactly 24 hours. The same amount of time it takes the Earth to spin once. This perfect dance makes it look like the satellite isn't moving at all from our point of view.
And that perfect timing? It only happens at one, and only one, very specific altitude. 42,164 kilometers. Not 42,000, not 43,000. It has to be that number. If it were any higher, it would orbit too slowly. Any lower, and it'd be going way too fast to keep up. The precision is just mind-boggling.
It's all about a beautiful, perfect balance of two massive forces. You've got Earth's gravity constantly pulling the satellite in, but at the same time, the satellite's incredible speed creates a force that wants to fling it outwards. That's centrifugal force, kind of like when you spin a ball on a string. At that exact altitude, these two forces cancel each other out, locking the satellite in place. It's literally parked in the sky.
Of course, staying perfectly parked is a full-time job. These satellites are engineering marvels. They're powered by huge solar panels, with big battery packs for when they pass into Earth's shadow. But maybe the coolest part is the thrusters. The gravity from the moon and the sun are always trying to gently nudge the satellite off course. So these tiny little engines fire every now and then to make these tiny course corrections and keep it in that perfect spot.
But out of all the gear on board, the absolute star of the show is the transponder. Just think of it as a super smart relay station in space. Its job is to catch the super faint signal sent up from Earth, clean it up, boost its power like crazy, and then beam it back down to all of our dishes. And it does all this on a different frequency so the signals don't get mixed up.
Okay, so now we know how the satellite stays put and how it talks, so let's follow the signal on its absolutely epic journey, all the way from a TV studio to your living room screen.
It's basically a multi-stage relay race that happens at the speed of light. First, a channel, say CNN, makes its show. Then, your satellite provider, like DirecTV or Dish, collects the signals from hundreds of channels like CNN. They take all that content, bundle it, shrink it down, encrypt it, and then they shoot that massive package up to their own satellite. Finally, that satellite blasts the signal back down, your dish catches it, and the little box under your TV unscrambles it so you can watch.
And this brings up something you've probably seen 100 times and maybe wondered about. You walk down a street and you see satellite dishes on all the houses, but they're not all pointing in the same direction. What's up with that?
Well, the answer goes right back to that cosmic parking lot we were talking about. The geostationary orbit is this huge ring around the Earth, and different TV providers rent spots on different satellites parked in different orbital slots. So your dish has to be aimed at the exact satellite that belongs to your TV company.
You ever notice that when you're watching live TV, it's not actually instantaneous? That signal has to travel up to space and back down again, a round trip of over 84,000 kilometers. Even moving at the speed of light, that trip takes about half a second. And on top of that, broadcasters often add their own few-second delay on purpose, just in case someone says something they shouldn't on live TV. It all adds up.
All right, we've got the orbit, we've got the hardware, we've got the signal's path. Now, it's time for the big reveal. Let's finally solve that buffering mystery once and for all.
And right here, this is the whole secret. Satellite TV is a broadcast technology. The satellite sends out one powerful signal for each channel, and literally millions of dishes all receive that exact same signal at the exact same time. The internet, though, is on demand. When you hit play on a Netflix show, their server has to send a unique one-to-one data stream just for you. This analogy makes it super clear. Think of satellite TV as a massive highway with a few hundred huge wide-open lanes, one for each channel. Everyone watching that channel is in the same lane, and the traffic just flows. The internet, that's more like a giant city with millions of individual driveways. Every single time someone wants to watch a video, a personal car has to drive from a server through all the city streets to get to their specific house. With millions of cars on the road, you're gonna get traffic jams. And that traffic jam is buffering.
So let's wrap this up. What are the big ideas you should walk away with from all this?
Okay, here's the rundown. First, remember that magic number. Satellites are parked 42,164 kilometers up in a special orbit that keeps them in sync with Earth. Second, that TV signal goes on an incredible journey, from the channel to your provider, up to that satellite, and then all the way back down to your dish. And finally, the no buffering secret. It's a one-to-many broadcast, like a radio station for video, not a one-to-one internet request. No traffic jams.
And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. Satellite's whole architecture gives it this amazing built-in advantage for live events with massive audiences, but what happens as our internet gets ridiculously fast and reliable with things like fiber and 5G? Will the internet's city streets eventually turn into superhighways themselves? Will buffering become a thing of the past? That right there is the billion-dollar question for the future of how we watch everything.